So let's get back to the story. So I just had to say that because, oh yeah, I'm telling you, like, it's gonna come out. So when I get there or whatever, Jolene wants to not truck drive anymore because basically I'm there now. And she wants to get a local job, and so that we both can, like, once I get a job, I'll start looking for a place. But well, it was Lehigh was really, oh, excuse me, very, very, very country. Like, there was no buses. There was like, and just to get to the nearest gas station was a drive. So that was already aggravating because I was so used to like a gas station being around every corner. So so I was like, oh no, like this is very like aggravating. So like I said, for a couple of weeks before I even started, because when you're doing the cash assistance and everything like that, you're supposed to like do the volunteer work or whatever. So I was working at a community center, that gave like referrals. They helped you with your bills. They did that. They had a pantry. That's why I worked in the pantry, to like, for people who didn't have food and stuff like that. So before I had started, Jolene and I would go on these, and then that's when I found out. She was telling me how she found out that, Nixon was still sleeping with his baby mama. They was getting into fights. I think she ended up disciplining the youngest daughter, and then when because Nixon went out on the road, or she disciplined the oldest daughter or something like that, and they over exaggerated or something. So when Nixon got home from dropping off his load, she ended up, yeah. Yeah. And I think that was her moment where she was like, she's gonna take the course to do truck driving. One, she would get away. She would be in a whole nother state. And then she just want to get away from, the kids, like making it seem like their mother was better than her, and everything that she's doing for them, nobody's giving her credit for. So she ends up, I think her mom ends up taking her daughter and her two boys, and the girls go stay in Delaware somewhere with their cousins or something like that. And so while she's in doing, training for her truck driving, she ends up, like, I guess her trainer, they ended up, I guess, having some type of relationship. Mind you, her and Nixon are not even together anymore because that was the last straw for her. So Nixon has this tendency, because he's done it to me twice. Every time he notices Jolene moving on, and it makes sense. He tends to like rear her back in. Manipulation, he breaks her down, and then Jolene just don't have that fighter in her. So eventually she just breaks down and then go back to him. And so during this time where she's, up there doing her thing, learning how to truck drive, her and her trainer ends up having like a relationship, I would say. I don't know, but the way she described how he was to her, it was like, damn. And I experienced that. That's why I'm like, I don't know how. I don't know how Nixon was able to break you down enough to go back to him. Because when I say I'd experienced When I said I experienced a real man, and when I tell you, that's why them last, no, that bar set so high now. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, to the point, like, I'm like, when you encounter somebody who allows you to be in your feminine energy, who allows you to be just feminine, oh my God. The difference. So I don't know how Nixon, well, I do, but yeah, Nixon ended up finding out that, now she's moving on, not even paying attention to him no more or whatever. He breaks her down. But then again, she ends up finding out, like, he was married and stuff like that. That's why I say, like, a lot of good men are married. They just don't want to get divorced. And it's not to say, like, what he did, I condone it, because a cheater is going to be a cheater regardless of, if they're married or not. But I'm going to stick by it. There's a lot of good men that's married to ungrateful women, toxic women. And there's a lot of good women that's married to dogs, cheaters. You know what I'm saying? So, and pedophiles. Like, so it's sad because they don't want to start over, and they don't want to separate the kids, and they don't, divorce is going to be too much. They got to split this up. Let me tell you, I will give up everything. If you're not meant for me, you're not meant for me. I refuse. I'm 40 now. Like, I refuse to spend the rest of the next 40 years of my life miserable. I can always rebuild. I can always get that money back. I can always buy another house. But one thing I can't buy will be time. Or my children's innocence. Putting them through trauma. Putting me through trauma. I'd rather be by myself for the next 40 years than have to deal and be unhappy. So, like, to me, money can't buy money can buy happiness to a point, but I could be spending that money by myself, going going on resorts, and taking my children, like, to Disney World, and let them see the world, than having to be stuck with somebody that I'm unhappy with, and I know they're unhappy with me. That doesn't even make no sense.